Hi, this morning we have a very interesting person. We have built this brand. It's basically a pineapple tart brand. Uh, we have the pleasure of speaking with David Wong, the visionary founder behind Sui, a brand that transforming a beloved Malaysian tradition into a cultural icon. Inspired by her late mother, Sui, David left a decade-long career in property development to pursue his passion for baking. His unique creation, Malaysia's first square pineapple tart, has earned national recognition, blending heritage with innovation. With each tart stamped with the Chinese character Fu, or in Cantonese called Fok, meaning fortune. David brands carry a deep message of prosperity, unity, and family values. So this morning we are very, privileged to have Mr. David Wong to share a bit of his success secret and tips, and also the secret behind building this brand. Mr. David Wong, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Stephen.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. The first question is like, what inspired you to leave property development and return to the culinary world?
Okay, well, after spending a decade in property development, I found myself yearning for something more meaningful that closer to my heart. I wanted to create and reconnect with what brought me joy as a child, baking with my mother. It was during a soul-searching journey that I realized I didn't just want a career, but I want something with purpose. Hence, this purpose lead me back to the kitchen where I rediscover the joy of creating something tasty, something that is delightful that I can share with everyone.
Okay. Can you share your earliest memory baking with your mother, Sui?
I think I was around 9 or 10 that I first helped my mom making pineapple tarts for Chinese New Year. I remember that her meticulous way of guiding me, teaching me that every steps you have to be reminded that what we create must come from the heart, and that moment stayed with me, and now is the core of everything I do.
Okay. How did your mother influence your entrepreneur journey?
Well, she was quite the strength behind all my career. Um, my mother is actually a career woman. She has her own business as a tailor, running her tailor shop in Complex Business. Watching her dealing with her business with grace and creativity and resilience, and how she managed her customer inquiries and how she, get all her work done. She taught me that passion and tradition can work hand in hand, and that shaped how I built Sui, and not just a brand, but a tribute and a legacy to her.
Okay. Was there a pivotal moment when you realized baking would become your full-time career?
Well, actually, in fact, I was jobless, when I decided to bake from home. Baking cakes, and when Chinese New Year comes approach, I asked my mom for her pineapple tarts recipe. Yeah, so orders begin to grow, and people love what I bake, and that is the validation from the customer itself that gave me the courage to open my bakery and pursue baking full time. It was scary definitely, but I knew that I found something that close to my heart, something that is real.
Why did you choose to innovate the traditional pineapple tart into a square shape?
Well, pineapple tart is not something new to Malaysian. Malaysia typically knows what pineapple tart is and how it tastes and the shape it is. So I want to stay away from that, from the norm. Hence, something that is can be they cannot be easily compared with. Like for example, you see in the market, in the pasar pagi and other shops. So I want something that is different, that they cannot easily compare. Then I recall that Taiwanese pineapple tart is in the shape of rectangular. So I tried to make it into square, and with that, I do recall that my grandmother says that in Chinese, it's a Chinese proverb that is say 口大吃四方, meaning that big mouth eat four squares lah. Basically, it means that you'll find success in all corners of the world lah. So in order not to be associated with Taiwanese pineapple tarts, so I embossed the pineapple tart, the square shape in with the character Fu, folk meaning fortune comes, which give a deeper cultural meaning. So in a way, it turns the familiar pineapple tarts into something that is meaningful gift.
Okay. What does the folk character on your tart symbolize for you and your customer?
Well, to me, when I started to emboss the word folk, into it, is that because Chinese are so during the celebration of Chinese New Year, the character folk, is so what do you call that, a cultural form that it's a must during Chinese New Year, where you place that character folk in front of your door. So it's something like it's bring good wishes, and the folk means that it brings fortune comes. So that means that by giving the folk character, we are sending a heartfelt blessing. Whether it comes for a festive season, it's as a corporate gift or gesture of gratitude. So that would carry warmth and traditions and the connection between Chinese people.
How did you go about perfecting the recipe for your tarts to stand out in the market?
Well, we took countless trial and tests. But of course, the recipe itself, the original pineapple tart recipe, we still remain using the tradition that's been passed down by my mother. The only thing that we do is that we try to incorporate different flavor and different taste or different items into it, so that to make it something that is stand out in the market. So what we do is that we want to strike it in between the balance between the buttery, the melt in your mouth feel, and the pineapple feeling that is sweet and sour and not overly sweet. So every ingredient that we choose here was with intention, down to the type of the butter that we use, down to the type of the pineapple that we use, and in the recipe itself, it gives us what create the purpose, and with that, we create it with passion, we create it with pride.
Okay. What challenges did you face in branding Sui Bee, and how did you overcome them?
The challenges is that because the Malaysian perceptions of pineapple tarts, they only remember pineapple tarts during festive season. Like for example, Hari Raya, Chinese New Year, and Deepavali. So we have to educate the market in a way that they can share these pineapple tarts on all occasions, on all celebration like Teachers' Day, Parents' Day, weddings, and it can be used for like product launching throughout the whole year itself, 365 days a year. So in order to make our product stand out, we wanted to have something that can be anchor everything that is back into the culture and the storytelling. And our packaging itself, through the design and the message behind the celebration, of Malaysian heritage.
How do you balance tradition with innovation in your business?
It's about the respect. It's about we honor the traditions, and our recipe and our stories. We innovate through design, with the pineapple tart design itself, the shape itself, and through the packaging. For example, we blend the batik and we blend the Songket inspired motif into the packaging with modern unboxing experiences. So innovations bring freshness, traditions bring souls.
Okay. What marketing strategies have worked best for growing Sui Bee online and offline presence?
For us, it's definitely through storytelling. Uh, People connect with stories. So especially the one that's rooted within our culture and emotion. We use social media to share behind the scene moment, the cultural insights, the customer stories. And then through offline, we collaborate with tourism spots like Central Market, Pasar Besar, Isetan, to create something that is memorable, that spread and speak for itself. Word of mouth and respect from the customers have also been very, very powerful.
David, how do you feel when your tarts were recognized by the Malaysian Book of Records?
Well, it was a very incredible moment at the time. Being named the first square pineapple tarts in Malaysia, that's validate what our hard work, and the risk that we took, creating something that is unique, something that is new in the market. It wasn't just about the shape, but it was about making something that is meaningful, something that is uniquely Malaysian. That recognition gave us a strong foundation, to work harder, to work better, and to educate Malaysian that pineapple tart is not only a snack that is represent, but it also represent harmony in terms of a must-have snack that used in three major festivities.
How important has social media been in building your brand?
Very important. Social media allow us to connect directly with the customers, the audience, especially the younger generations. It helped us to share, not just to share our product, but also our purpose. We have been able to educate, engage, bring and build loyalty, community by being authentic and also visually compelling.
Okay, what role does storytelling play in your brand and packaging?
In fact, it's everything. Everything, every box tells a story. We want to bring out the story of Malaysian, multicultural roots, the nostalgic, like we have nostalgic games, we have traditional attires, we have family rituals. All these are imprinted on our packaging. Our goal is to remind people that where we come from as a Malaysian with multicultural, and it inspire them to pass on their stories forward, by storytelling. And each storytelling turns each gift into what they call it, conversations. So that the packaging itself, the biscuit itself, the pineapple tart itself, it create the conversation among people when they share.
Okay, I'm touched on a bit on operations. How do you ensure quality and consistency across all your batches?
We meticulously about the processes, and we pay attention to the ingredients that we use. We work with trained team, and we don't use part-timers. It's because our processes are what I call that are very critical in the way that because everything will need a proper uh, what I call it, meticulous way of creating the pineapple tart itself. So we train team, we use precise measurements, and we conduct regular checks, quality checks, on our product itself and on the ingredients that we use. But beyond the SOP, yeah, it's all about the passion. Everyone in our kitchen knows the purpose, know why we are making the tart, not just making tarts as a tart itself, but we are delivering a piece of someone's heartfelt moment that we can share with everyone.
David, what is your future plans for Swibi, new products, markets, and also collaborations?
We aim to grow internationally, as a Malaysian cultural gift brand. We are exploring automation, which we just, like I mentioned to you, we have done renovation recently. We automate our production line. So in order for us to increase the capacity while preserving the artisanal feel. So collaboration with tourism industry, tourism market, hospitality, and other F&B brands are in the pipeline. So we are also working on limited edition seasonal gift design for all the festive season, and the new flavors are still in the process. So which we wanted to stay true to our roots, the Malaysian roots itself.
David, are there any unique customer feedback story that have deeply touched you or surprised you?
Oh yes, definitely. The one that really touched me is that a customer of mine, she brought our pineapple tarts to share with her overseas friend. That friend, broke down in tears, saying that the taste really brought back her memories of her late grandmother, in Malaysia. So that moment itself really reminds me that what we do, goes beyond boundaries, go beyond businesses. It's about the the heart, it touches the emotion of the customer itself.
Okay. How do you manage scaling production while maintaining the artisanal touch?
It's not. It is very, very, very difficult. In fact, it is actually a balance act. Scalings definitely require automations. It must also be balanced with maintaining the texture, the taste, and the recipe that adhere to the strict processes, and not to lose out on the purpose of why we are making the pineapple tarts. So even as we make our operation more efficient, our packaging and storytelling will always keep the same personal, handcrafted feel. For us, heart and meaning will always come before speed.
Okay, what does success means to you now compared to when you first started?
Well, in the beginning, success means survival because as a young entrepreneurs, when we started, we wanted to be able to cover the cost, our fixed cost, our business cost. So that is the motion where we tune in to become survival. So getting orders, paying bills, proving myself. So now success means to me is to create impact. It's seeing our product bring joy and preserve culture and become part of someone's celebrations. So it's all about growing responsibly and giving back.
Okay, my last question for you this morning is like, what advice will you give to someone wanting to start a food-based business in Malaysia?
I believe you have to come from the heart itself. Start with your why.
Okay, David, my another next question is like, what advice will you give to someone wanting to start a food-based business in Malaysia?
Well, I believe it all comes from here. Start with your why. Know your purpose and let that derive everything. Be prepared to work hard, adapt, and then learn from feedback. Never to compromise on the quality and the integrity. It may take longer, a longer pace for you to reach where you want, but it builds trust that lasts.
Okay, the last question for our interview this morning is like, if your mother could see how far Swibi has come, what do you think she would say?
Oh well, she's still around with us today. I think she is now 76. So I think she's quite proud. What I have create the Sweetie brand. She may not say much, but I know that she sees the spirit of her values that I living in brand Sweetie. I think she would say I've done well. But don't forget where I come from. How I started. So I believe that is what she will say to me.
Thank you, David, for your time. I hope all of you have gained values from this interview and a lot of insights you can learn and also apply in your business. Thank you very much, David.
Thank you so much. Thank you,
Great
Stephen.
pleasure meeting
Thank
you.
you. Pleasure meeting you.